It's another ConverZation video. And let's not waste any time and just get right into it. So this time, once again, it's a bit more serious topic. And it's about, well, pretty much about the worst year of my life so far. It was a while ago, and it's not like a specific year. It's more, and it's not a full year. It's just like, yeah, that's not completely important, but it's also about worrying and stuff, you know. And it was really my second year at university. So the second half of 2013 and the first half of 2014, that school year, which also happens to be was the year when I really started doing YouTube and, you know, the whole Let's Play thing, which is kind of odd. Like, when I started doing that, then it suddenly became the worst time of my life. No, but that had nothing to do with it. It was just that at that point in my life, I had done my first year at university out of 3. And so during my second year, there was a lot more of the courses had you working together with others. And when I was working with them, nothing wrong with them as people, but when we talked, it seemed as if almost everyone I talked to had plans for the future, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and on my free time I work a lot on these things, so I'm learning and getting better, so I can get a job after I'm done with school. And for me, I was just, when I was not doing school stuff, I was just home, and as I was saying, I just started YouTube, so I was working on that a little bit. If you compare how much work I put into my YouTube videos now back then was almost nothing, because I didn't know, really. Anyway, I was also like doing my other like free time stuff, playing World of Warcraft, just watching YouTube. Yeah, it was around the same time I had just found the Game Grumps, and I'm really glad I did. They really helped me back then. It's raining a lot outside right now. It's distracting me. And so I started like slowly panicking in a way, because I felt like everyone else has these great big plans, and I'm getting closer and closer. Like, after this I only have 1 more year, and after that I'm done. And then I'm gonna have to go and search for a job, but I have no plans, and I was not willing, because it felt that a lot of them, what they were doing is what they sacrificed their free time to get better at all the things they were working on in their how to put this, in their respective fields. Like, if there was, let's say for example, I studied animation, but let's say I was in a group with a 2D artist, for example, then that person like basically said, yeah, and in my free time I sit and I work on these things that is connected to the schoolwork, but not for any school assignment, just to train to become better. Me personally, I would never do that with my, like, I wouldn't sit around animating or doing anything like that on my free time. I would do it for the schoolwork that we need to do, and I do all the assignments. But other than that, I wanted my free time to myself to do other things. But the way they were saying is like, oh yeah, if you want to work in this business, you need to be pretty much the best, or at least try to be the best. And I was not ready to give up anything from my free time, so I started panicking, like, oh, am I not going to get a job just because I have interests? It was specifically one guy, I remember him saying something like, if you want to work in this industry, and he was like around my age, so, and going the same year, so it's not like he had any experience, as far as I know, of working in that industry. But he said like, from his point of view, like, yeah, most people working in this industry, like the video game industry, sort of stop playing games when they work on them, because they have to put so much effort into working on them that they don't want to play anymore. And that made me feel sort of panicky as well. Like, but I love playing games. I don't want to give that up. Obviously, now that I'm older, I know he was wrong. I know that a lot of game developers still play a lot of games. It's ridiculous to think that it wouldn't. And it really started stressing me out. Like, this is something that happened over a long stretch of time. It's not like over like 1 week I suddenly realized and started panicking. No, this is like a growing thing for like over 6 months, where it just grew and grew and grew. And I felt worse and worse and worse about it. And I didn't feel ready to like start searching for a job. I had just turned 20. I still felt like a kid. I still kind of feel like a kid, but a more experienced kid that is more ready for things. So I guess sort of in my subconscious, my mind was telling me I have to stop with my interests if I want a job, and just keep working on other things to get better. But I also, because of the way I am, I never feel like anything I do is good enough. So that would just put more fuel on the fire and make me feel even worse. Like, oh yeah, even if I do try, it's not good enough. Like, I'm never gonna be able to make it. This is a bit connected to the last conversation, which was about like other people's accomplishments, that I just get completely disheartened when I see how good other people can make things, because I compare myself. And that also fed into this. So I was just, yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say I felt sad. It was just sort of like a calm, slow panic that was like slowly building and made me feel really bad about myself. Yeah, the whole thing just came down to me not knowing what would happen after, because my entire life up to that point had always been school. It was school all the time. I took no breaks. Like some people I know after gymnasiet, which we have in Sweden, they take a break from studying and they like travel or work or do little things. I didn't, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just went to school. I applied to university immediately and started doing that. And then just when you're approaching and realizing like, oh, I don't have that much time left of school, which I'm used to, and I'm gonna have to get a job, and just that change with all these thoughts, it is scary. It's really, really scary. And I think I also was very, very scared because of the future, and I didn't know what was coming. And I am still like that in some way. I don't like change. I do not like it because I don't think anyone really likes change. Like some people will probably say that they love change. And I'm not saying that they don't love it. I'm just saying that on some level, the human mind does not like change. It's like programmed to feel at its best when you know what's coming, when you know everything. That's when you feel comfortable. But some people might like the thrill of change or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I'm jumping a little bit back and forth all over the place here with this topic, but this entire thing was also later, when it was over, made me realize that I didn't want to work in the video game industry in that way, like creating games or be a part of creating games, because yeah, you do need to like sharpen your skills. Can you say it like that? And be really good at what you do. And me having the confidence of, I don't know what to compare it to. What would you compare it to that had low confidence? I don't know. I basically have no confidence, is what I'm trying to say here. But it made me realize that I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to work that way. I just wanted a job solely so that I could have an income. I still do not care about having a career or like earning much money. I just want to, I want to earn enough so that I can live the way I want to live. And then my life is not defined at all by my job. It is defined by what I do with my life, which I want to be playing video games, reading the books I like, doing YouTube, like my interests. That's my life. That's what I want it to be. And the only reason I am working is, well, because you kind of need a job, you need an income. Trust me, if I like won a lot of money, I would stop working and just live off those winnings instead. And some people might, oh, wouldn't you'd just grow bored and have nothing to do? No, I would not. Right now, I feel like I don't have enough time for all my interests. There are so many things that I'm putting off, or just like, oh, I don't have time for this today, I'll have to do it some other day, or this week. To summarize a little bit, I started to feel worse and worse, and started to think like, oh, I have to give up all my my interests and hobbies, and start like growing up, so to say, and working towards getting a job. And I need to get a job, and as soon as I'm done with school and things like that, which I didn't end up doing. I was unemployed for 1.5 years until I got my job that I still have now. And a person that helped me a lot getting through this was my dad, because he gave a lot of good advice, and we talked a lot about it back then. So I'm very thankful for that. And he helped me realize that there's like no rush. You don't need to have a perfect plan always. You don't need to get a job straight away. It's your life. You're free. Like, I can do whatever I want to do, as long as I don't just lie at home and slacking off doing nothing. But you know what I mean. There is not one path in life you have to follow. And even if you have something, you were following one path at first, you can always change paths whenever you feel like it. And like, it wasn't an instant feeling of relief once I had realized that. That also took a long time to realize that it was okay to just do something else. Even though I had put 3 years and educated myself towards this, you don't have to keep following that path, even though you did that. And I'm not regretting going to university at all. I learned a lot of things that I'm still using today, and I'm not really in touch with any of the people. I didn't really get to know that many people because I am very socially awkward and had difficulty making friends. There were some people I got close-ish with, but I don't really have much. I'm not really in touch with them anymore. But I also learned a lot from doing university, which is not the topic of this video really, but yeah, I'm just letting my thoughts go wild here. Yeah, I feel like this video is a little bit all over the place right now, but the main thing I wanted to say was, yeah, I had a really bad year then, and I explained the reasons why I was feeling bad about it, and that it got better. And things my mind keeps thinking right now, okay, did I miss something? Was there something I missed? And as soon as I've turned this off, the recording off, I will be like, oh crap, I forgot to say that. But that's my perfectionist in myself. That it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have some editing to do. This will be out at some point in the future. I don't know when. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye! Boom, yay! Hey! Boom, boom, yay! Watch some videos, hey! Boom.